Hello and what is going on today, guys? TOMCAT here, and today I wanted to let you guys know that I am taking part in a contest for the new Supercross 2 official game, and I'm competing with other YouTubers to create the craziest Supercross track. Now, if our track wins, then it will actually be playable in-game once the game releases. So if you guys want to help me make that happen, make sure you click the link in the description box below and vote for our track. And as far as the name goes, I feel like I may have gone for the not-so-original but quite fitting TC's Stadium. Now, working with the track designer was really cool because it shows you all of the pieces that you can use and presents them in a really easy-to-understand way. You're never really overwhelmed by it or anything. You actually have, like I said, a lot of options to work with, and they're all super easy to access. Now, I will say that it did take me a little while to get, familiar with the way I wanted the track to work, and there was a lot of placing stuff and then deleting it and going back and placing it again and then deleting it and then going back and placing it again. And I think there always will be when you're doing something like this because you're trying to figure out exactly the way you want your track to flow. And I still don't think at the end of the day that this track had perfect flow, but I do think that it was pretty decent. Now, I think the biggest thing that I had in mind for this track and my biggest goal for this track was for it to be fun and for it to be challenging, but not necessarily too challenging, if you know what I mean. I didn't want it to be silly. I didn't want it to be over the top or anything, but at the same time, I wanted it to be enjoyable, and I wanted it to have some easy sections and some sections that were a little bit more difficult and demanding. And the section that I was probably the most iffy about was the section that I put the turn jump into, or the jump turn, because the jump turn actually leads into another turn, and you have to set up for it a turn prior. So if you get your line right and you get your rhythm right, you'll really do well. But the thing is, if you get it wrong, it'll launch you way off into oblivion. So with that being said, and not necessarily oblivion, but it will launch you to the side of the stadium. So with that being said, this track does have a couple of spots where you really have to pay attention to your line, but I personally think that increases the difficulty just enough, but not necessarily too high, because I was really trying to not make it too difficult or too weird or wacky, because a wacky track will just have really odd flow and it won't really work properly. Like I said before, I feel like this track has okay flow. I don't feel like the flow is perfect, but at the same time, I feel like it's a little bit more enjoyable because it makes you think. And, it's not always obvious what you need to do, right? It's not always oh yeah, this is exactly the way I thought it would be, or oh, this is the exact line I need to take just because that's the way I imagined it in my head. Whereas this track kind of makes you think a little bit, and it kind of makes you figure it out, but once you figure it out, it's oh, okay, I kind of see why that would kind of work. Now, I don't know if it's totally realistic, but the main goal that I had for this track was to have fun making it and make a track that was fun to ride, and I think that I've done that. So, hope you guys enjoy the following, which is me riding the track, and this should be entertaining. So, without any further ado, and with that out of the way, let's see what happens. So, diving into the first corner, I have a banking on the side, but it also... Okay, so let me go back and explain what I've done here. Now, what I've done here, I will agree, is not the best for flow work, but what it does is basically you have a banking, and then it actually cuts back in on itself. So I tried it without it, and I mean, it flowed a little better, but this adds a little bit of extra challenge to it. Now, if you get enough speed, you can land that pretty easily, and then you come around the corner, and if you can jump over that pool, then you're set up in a pretty decent spot for this. Now, I recommend avoiding that jump, and then this this turn has a jump in the middle of it, and literally the only reason for that jump being there was to make it harder, 100%. That's the only reason why that was there. It hurts the flow of it a little bit, but it is literally just there to make it more difficult. And as silly as that may be, I feel like it does add a... Oh, I landed right on top of the whoop and fell off. But as silly as that may be, I feel like it adds a little bit of an extra element to it. I mean, it makes it more challenging, and I didn't want the track to be boring. The last thing I wanted was for the track to be boring. Now, this sand corner, you could drift around the sand corner, and you want to hit those whoops a little bit soft so you can hit the double, or not even double, I think it's a triple, so you can hit that jump really high. This jump you want to hit kind of slow So you can hopefully make that one. And once you make that, you're kind of back onto the main stretch, and you can get a nice, huge slide going before you transition it into the banking. Put a big jump. There we go. That's kind of how I wanted to land it. That's almost how I wanted to land it. Big. There we go. You can set up a little bit of a lean for that corner ahead of time. There we go. There we go. That's kind of the faster way to take that. Although, I feel like there might be a faster way, like a way that's even faster than what I just did, but I feel like that's the fastest way that I know how to do, like right now. That is how you want to take that first corner. You want to cut in a little bit early because the track does that weird little kink thing. Oh, not quite. Oh, come on, stay on the track, stay on the track, stay on the track! Jumped over the pool. Staying low here. Jumping over the pool, and then cutting in, and then setting up for this corner like I prefer to do. Slowed down way too much. Way more than I needed to. My line was way off, though. Let's go, 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 go! That's how I prefer to take the bridge. Although, the problem is I actually overjumped it that time. You actually have to be pretty careful with that landing zone. It just ends up being a really weird landing zone if you don't hit it right. Take that really soft, and then big jump over the triple. Come on. I stayed way too far outside. I'm gonna have to take that soft so I can attempt to make that. That is the slow way to take it. Like, it works, but it's still really slow. Big slide. Try to get a little bit of a transition, and I kind of did, kind of didn't. Ooh, that entry line was awful. If you don't take it right, you won't make the landing zone. And, like, that's one of the trickiest landing zones to get right, but if you get it right, it flows really well. Oh, that was kind of bad. That was definitely the slow way to take that. The slow and extremely sloppy way to take that. Come on. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Stay on the track. Ooh, that's going to be bad. Yeah, it was a really crappy landing, and it was a slow landing pulling away, too. Right in the... Oh, man, I was right in the landing zone, and then I thought I was going to have to angle myself more to the side, and I did, and I flew off track. That was not part of the plan whatsoever. I take this clean. Yes! Finally got it right! And then completely screwed up the corner after it. That seems to be the problem for me right now, is like, I need to get better at actually like riding these to the point to where I can take one corner correctly and then not mess up the next one after it. Like, I feel like I just need to get a little bit more time with the motion of the bike, and then once I get to that point, I'll be in a much better position for this. Whoa! Ah, that was really bad. Landed okay, but it was really slow. A nice big slide going, though. Really overjumped on that one. Really, really overjumped. Pop the clutch. Get back in the... Oh, crap. Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, that's what you don't want to do. Well, if you wondered what you don't want to do, that's what you don't want to do. Right there. That will completely destroy a lap. Big slide, though. Come on. There we go. Oh, well, this... Yes! It landed in the right place! Launched me a little too far forward, but it landed in the right place. No! No! Really? Oh, my God. That's like the last thing that I wanted to have happen. I am not going to have enough speed. Wow, I had almost enough speed. Not quite enough, but almost enough. Damn, I didn't have enough that time. That was just bad. That was just horrible. Like, that is just about the worst I think I've ever taken that section. Even when I was developing the track, most of the time I didn't take it that badly. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! That was nasty. That was so close to being, like, really bad. Just about in the right landing zone. Easy, come on. Uh-oh, way too far out to the side. Weird bounce that I didn't necessarily mean to do. Stay on the track. There it is. Not doing too bad. I mean, genuinely not doing too bad at this point. Oh, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be... Yeah, that was just slow. Knocked over a couple of barriers, but God, I overjumped it again. Knocked over a couple of barriers back there, but the drift was decent, so I'm okay with it. Just barely made that the right way. I mean, it's a tricky one to get right, but like once you get it right, see, that's what I kind of wanted with this track, is I wanted it to be tricky, but I also wanted it to be rewarding, and I wanted it to be like rewarding for when you do figure it out and get it right. So that's, I've kind of achieved what I was going for here. You know, honestly, I feel like this track, once you like really got it down, would be really, really fun. I mean, I genuinely feel like it would be fun once you really got it down, and it's kind of unorthodox, so... Oh, God, getting the big slide going, but yeah, I ended up kind of on the wrong side of the track. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fun track. I think it's a really enjoyable track, and I don't know about you guys, but I had a really good time making it, and that was my whole goal with this, was maybe not necessarily to make a realistic track, but to make a track that was fun, and a track that I enjoyed making, and a track that I enjoyed riding. So, well, guys, I want to thank you all for watching, and I also want to say that I had an absolute blast building this track in Supercross 2, the official game. If you would like to check out the track and vote for it, the link will be in the description box below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Talk to you guys later.